going, she is a nutcase. I'm like, people act like that.
Okay. This I'm documenting. Nice up, Steve. All right, 7 o'clock. Good evening. Welcome. First of all, thank you for choosing Gardner Webb University. I'm Dale Lamb. I'm the department chair and program coordinator for the Master of School Administration program at Gardner Webb University. We offer a 12 and 20-month program, and all of you folks should be with us here this evening. And so I'll begin with, again, thanking you for being with us, and I will go to Dr. Danny Stedman. Dr. Stedman is the lead 601 instructor, and he will, in turn, and I'll tell you about Dr. Stedman. He's the only person on the screen that's older than me. He's way older than me. And so Dr. Stedman is the lead. He is retired principal and assistant superintendent from Robinson County. He lives in St. Paul's. He'll be working with some of you individually, but Dr. Stedman leads up our 601 group, who is made up of Dr. Danny Stedman, Dr. Kathy Revis. Dr. Revis is retired principal and assistant superintendent from Henderson County, North Carolina, and is a member of the Henderson County Board of Education. Dr. Robin Hamilton's on here somewhere. Dr. Hamilton's originally from Shelby. She was at Bridges. If you know anything about Shelby, that means something, from the Bridges barbecue plant. Dr. Hamilton is former central office assistant superintendent. She's principal at Masonboro, used to be Parsley in Wilmington. She's returned to the good side with the principal folks. She is an exemplary principal there. Dr. Crawford, are you on here somewhere? Dr. Jamal Crawford is principal
right here.
And there you are. There's Dr. Crawford, my eldest son. Dr. Crawford is, and I go back, I don't know, close to 30 years now. We worked together in Charlotte a long time ago. He's principal in Winston-Salem, the middle school there. Again, you get all these practitioners with you. Dr. Bowen Nutting is with us. Dr. Nutting just retired as associate superintendent in Iredell. She was the instructional person. She's joining our team this year. She'll be working with you. Let's see who else I see tonight that might be working with us. There's Dr. Phyllis Talent. Dr. Talent will be doing many of your visits, your CC1 or your clinical site supervisor visits. Dr. Talent, retired principal, central office person from, I don't know, Lincoln County. And so she's been with us a while. She's excellent instructor, coach, and visitor. She'll direct your clinicals. Let's see who else we got. We've got a lot of folks on here. There's Mr. William Ramsey. He's retired principal. He'll be doing clinical site supervision for those of you out in the eastern part of the state. He's from Rocky Mount. Let's see who else we got on here. We got anybody else?
I see Dr. Nutting.
Oh yeah, Bowen Nutting, Dr. Nutting. Will be joining the 601 group. She's retired from just retired from Ireland Statesville. She'll be with us, and so we're glad to have her. But if there's somebody else on the faculty that I didn't see, we'll get to them. So I'll turn it over to Dr. Stedman for the welcome and introduction this evening. Dr. Stedman.
Well, and again, you can't believe everything Dr. Lamb tells you. I may be older by 1 month, but I look a lot better than he does. So you'll just have to take it for what it's worth. But anyway, no, we are so excited that you have decided to join us. And I've been looking at the chat already, and I understand for many of you, it's a scary new step. Some of you said you were scared to death after you looked at the blackboard and saw everything in there. But you've got to trust us. And that's what I'm going to start with from the very beginning. You wouldn't have signed up for this if you didn't want to take a new step in your educational career, and if you didn't want something new. So you've got to hang in there with us, and you've got to trust us. It's not going to be easy. It's an intensive program, a writing intensive program. It's very rigorous, but we've never lost a student yet that was willing to work with us, have we, Dr. Lamb?
Not one.
If you're willing to work with us. Now, that doesn't mean you're not going to like everything we say. You're going to probably get mad and call us names at the end of the day sometime, but that's okay. We're going to love you the next day, and we're going to keep on moving. We're used to being called names and not being liked sometime when it comes to doing hard work. But at the end of the day, you want this degree to count for something. You want to be able to move into a school, and you want to be able to be an effective leader in that school when you're able to go into an assistant principalship role or a principalship role. And it's our job to make sure that you're equipped and that you're ready. And that's what we're going to do. So, don't look at the whole elephant when you look at what's in Blackboard. It is a lot. But remember, we've got 15 weeks to do this in. So we're going to take it one bite at a time. And that's what today is about. And that's what tomorrow, your first class, is about. And that's what Thursday night, when we come back together for a coaching session, that's what it's all about. Taking a bite of that elephant one bite at a time. And if you'll work with us and you'll hang in there and you don't give up, I promise you this, and it's pretty good when you make a promise. If you will hang in there with us for the first 4 weeks, no matter how hard it is, at the end of 4 weeks, and maybe before then, but at least by 4 weeks, you're going to look back, you're going to take a deep breath, and you're going to say, look how far I've come in this short of time. And it will, a lot of those anxieties, or all of those anxieties, are going to go away. That doesn't mean that the work won't be there, but you will have learned your pace, you will know what you're doing, and you will be successful. But you've got to promise me, you wouldn't be here tonight if you didn't want to be here. You got to promise us that before anybody, if you get on the ledge, let us talk you off of it. Before you say, I can't do this, call us and let us talk to you first before you make that decision. We want to work with you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Dr. Stedman. Dr. Revis, I'll go to you next.
Good evening, everybody. I am so delighted to be a part of this program and to be working with you this semester. I love to teach. I was born to be a teacher, and I know that. I've known that ever since I was probably 17 years old, that's what I wanted to do, and still doing it after 40 plus years. I love to teach, but I love to teach 601, because this is the opportunity for you, and watching you make a transformation and a transition from being a classroom teacher and looking through the lens of a classroom teacher to watching you be able to look through the lens of a school administrator. It is so rewarding. So I look forward to going with you on this journey.
Thank you, Dr. Revis. Dr. Hamilton?
Hi, I'm Dr. Hamilton, and as Dr. Lamb said earlier, I live in Wilmington, but I'm originally from Shelby, where many of you are closer by that part of the world. And this is mine and Dr. Crawford's. We're finishing our 5th year doing this together for Gardner-Webb. And we enjoy our time, we enjoy our students, we enjoy our class. And again, I want to reiterate what Dr. Stedman said. If you'll just hang in there with us, we are here for you. We will support you and help you. And I think you will find this a very rewarding experience. And you'll have a lot to be proud of when you finish this program. And there's no better job in the world than being a school principal. I've said that for a very long time now. So I'm very excited as you embark on this opportunity in your life.
Thank you, Dr. Hamilton. Dr. Crawford?
Hey, good evening, everyone. Dr. Jamal Crawford. Good to see you all. Looking forward to it. And I would say that those of you that'll be with Dr. Hamilton and I think the one thing that we like to do, especially since we are both right now sitting in the chair, sometimes that chair is on fire, but we try to help bridge for you that gap between theory and practicality, because we're both sitting in it, because we're both dealing with the day-to-day, sometimes foolishness of the modern principalship. And what you're going to get from Dr. Hamilton is the view from a very high-performing school in a very affluent area of the state and her city. And I am in, well, we'll just say a very different place in Winston-Salem. I am in a very, very brown and brown school. It's the first time I've had a school that is now actually more majority Hispanic than it is African American. So even I'm having to learn to tweak some of the things I am having to do. My school is sitting on the low performing list. I voluntarily walked into this last year, still not sure why, but part of the puzzle is trying to solve these puzzles to move my school from point A to point B. So thank you for being here and looking forward to it.
Thank you, Dr. Crawford. Now, full disclosure, Dr. Crawford, his last assignment, his last gig was no cakewalk either. He was in High Point at Kirkman Park, complete Title I school, and Dr. Crawford won the award for the Triad area, which is Winston-Salem, Greensboro, High Point. In those three cities, his school had the most growth of any school in those three areas. And so that's real, folks. That's real. Comparative accountability is who you get. Growth's what you do with them. He knows how to move kids. He knows how to move school. The last time I was in Kirkman Park with him, we looked like two bears. But I'm gonna tell you what, folks, it moved my heart to see what Jamal Crawford can do with the school, and he can do that with you too. So we're so pleased to have him. Dr. Nutting, she's our newest member of our team.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Bowen Nutting. I literally have been retired less than a month from the Iredell Statesville Schools. I served as assistant superintendent there and just finished out my 30th year in education in North Carolina. So I can relate to a lot of the chats over here on the side that you're a little bit overwhelmed, and I'm learning too. My goal is to learn along with you and to support you in any way that I can, and we'll cross the finish line together. So I'm excited to get to know you all.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We've got some other folks with us tonight that I won't call on them. I didn't prep them, but I wanted to segue from what Dr. Nutting just said. You've got a lot of folks on the screen tonight that are going to be here to help you. People ask me all the time, what's the difference between public and private schools? Well, in private schools, you pay too much, but you're paying for the support and the help. You will have all these people that you see, including me. I'm not much help, but I'll be there on Thursday nights, the nights that we meet I do the technology piece for you. And then you'll have me at some point down the road for law and finance. You just think this semester's tough. These people, I'm gonna tell you what, I'm the most hated man on campus. But that's another story for another day. But the notion here is you'll have an instructor, you'll have a coach that works with you specifically on your portfolio. It is a writing intensive program. It's like doing 3 national boards. But there is no escaping that. You have to have a portfolio for a licensure. Now, you South Carolina people, or you have to take the Praxis 5412. North Carolina people, you got one. If the waiver holds through the month of August, you won't have to take it. Now, you 5-semester people, you may have to, because the waiver for the Praxis runs out next August. If it holds that long. Now, we never worry about it. We've never had a student not to pass. Half of our students have to take it. We've never had a student not to pass the Praxis. We integrate that into the coursework, so don't worry about the Praxis. It's that writing intensive portfolio in APA 7th edition, first person active voice, that's going to be your headache. But these folks are going to work with you. We've got 2 absolute experts on the screen tonight who will work with you through APA 7th. If you've never written in APA 7th, Dr. Revis and Dr. Hamilton are wizards at that. They're better than the writing center people. And we taken over, we used to have the library come in and work with you, but they're just better. It's just the truth. And so we're excited, but we got plenty of resources. We got plenty of people. We got plenty of help. You just got to stick with us. That's the main thing is when you see it to begin with, it is overwhelming. But it's worth the while. 95% of our people finish on time, and then we get the other 3 using another semester. You don't want to do that. You want to plan from the very beginning that if you're in the 3 or the 5 semester program, that's how many semesters it's going to take. This is not cheap. And if you have to come back for an extra semester, they charge you 3 credit hours. That's about $2,000. So, you know, you're paying too much. I fully agree, but you know, let's just make it be is what it costs. Let's not be thinking about going extra. Let's get in there and get after it now. It's going to take about 20 hours a week to do this. And that's what I said, 20 hours. And that's not the first week, that's every week until you get out. While we run in semesters, you may have to work right through the breaks to keep up. You got to get 500 clinical hours. It's going to be tough. And so to that end, I'm going to walk you in to Blackboard right now if you've not been in, and then we'll look at our agenda. So let me share my screen at gardnerweb.edu. When you type that into the search box, you will come to a screen that looks like this. You go in through Web Connect, and then you will be on a screen like this. And I pull mine up into the favorites area here, but on your launch pad, you're going to have Blackboard, email, and academics calendar. I want to go to email right quick, just as a reminder. Gardner Web, check your Gardner Web email every day. Every day. Check your Gardner Web email every day. Now, please remember, if you've never used Outlook before, Outlook stacks emails. And so you think that you've lost them or you don't see one that came in, they stack. So what you will see is everything under this student's name is right here in one stack, all these different emails. So you got to understand, now you can't unstack them, but when we send you things, we'll try to send you new links every time. But if we copy on an old link, that's where you'll find it, because email stacks in Outlook. But this is your email. The other most relevant thing is your learning management system. We use Blackboard. It's here. When you come into Blackboard, over here on the right under my courses, you won't have all these like I've got, but you will have 601. All of you should have Mel 601. C2, C4, C6, or C8, or you'll be in 60103. And so when you click into your shell, you'll see everything that you need to do in your course overview. Tells you who your instructors are, your grades, complete your enrollment verification, what your next steps are. It lists out your textbook. Blackboard, the bookstore, the Bulldog Bundle, you can either opt to do that and they will send you these, or you can opt out and buy them on your own. Here are the links for your classes and sessions, and that leads me to attendance. Students who attend classes do better than those who don't. We will record all sessions and post them in YouTube, for you can watch from the link in YouTube. You're better off to show up in person. Thursday night coaching, you're much better to show up in person for those. Now, we won't meet every Thursday night. Dr. Stedman will talk to us about that in just a minute, but probably about 6 or 7 Thursday nights during the semester they will meet. How many you got planned for them, Dr. Stedman?
They have 4 the first 4 weeks, and then they have a 5th one after we finish the APSO and go into evidence 2, which is about week 8, I think.
And then we'll probably do about 1 more somewhere near the end. So about 6. We'll meet with you about 6 Thursdays, but we'll tell you in plenty of time so that you can do that. But Tuesday night, every Tuesday night except for fall break, you need to be with us on Tuesday night. You need to be with them. I won't be with you every time. I don't teach 601. They don't let me. I would run all the beginners off. So we have to get good people to teach the 601 that are kind. That's not my strong suit. So, but have good people that will work with you and will be there to support you. So here is your class. They have each of the things that you're going to cover under these. They have your discussion boards. They have all of your materials. They'll go over these with you on Tuesday nights. Everything is printed out in this program. And so everything's laid out. You see it all. And now that's why sometimes students get afraid, is because they see it all in total. But most folks learn from whole to part. We want you to see the entirety of it because we're serious about the 20 hours. Too many times students think, well, they said 20, that means 2. No, 20 means 20. And it means every week, not every now and then, not when you have time. It means 20 hours every week. That includes your clinical time. You got to get your clinical time in, where you actually do activities at your school, and we'll cover those on Thursday night with you. But you've got to get those in. You've got to get your evidence writing in. It is writing intensive. You got to get your group work in. All those things, you got to stay up because your group's dependent on you, because you got to do peer reviews. They'll cover that when they go over that with you on Tuesday night. So let's look at our agenda now for the evening. Let me share my screen. Let's see. So here we are. Let me move that out of the way over to the side. All right. So if you're in the MSA 20-month program, that's the 5-semester master, first-time masters, Tuesday nights each week with Dr. Hamilton, Dr. Crawford, and Dr. Nutting. You'll be in class with them on Tuesday night. If you are in the 12-month 3-semester program, you'll be in class on Tuesday night with Dr. Stedman and Dr. Revitz. And so here are the requirements for their courses over the overview. You have your Blackboard coursework to include your discussion boards assignment, your case studies, and peer reviews. You'll complete the AppSell and the AppTell. That's the first 2 evidences in the task stream portfolio for state licensure. That's analysis and action plan for student learning, AppSell, and then the AppTell is analysis and action plan for teacher empowerment and leadership. You'll have a separate folio built in TaskStream that I will teach you to build on a Thursday night. Your DRF's already there. Your direct response folio, where you put your evidences once they're complete. It's already there, but you will build your own folio for competency artifacts so that you can publish and share it with potential employers. It's very powerful. Our 21 competencies for administrators in North Carolina are embedded, and our digital learning competencies are embedded in that folio as well. For the 20-month program, your clinical internship hour requirement is 500 hours. Follows this sequence, you will get 100 each semester that you're in the program, including the summer. Pretty simple. For you 12 months folks, you have the same requirements. AppSell and AppTell, TaskStream 21. However, you will have to get 200 clinical hours in the fall and 200 in the spring and 100 in the summer, because you're just here 3 semesters and you have to get 500 hours. However, you will get, because you have a master's degree already, you will get a 100-hour credit for your AppSell and AppTell work, and you'll get a 100-hour credit for your OMA and SCIP work for your evidences that you will do. You will get those hour credit for having completed those. So everybody's going to have to do 100 hours each semester. That's over an hour a day. So that's when I talk about on a weekly basis, you got to get about 7 hours a week just for your clinical works. That's part of that 20. And then by the time you have your class time, your coaching time, you're up to about 10 already. Then you got to find some time to write and do your peer work and Zooms. And so it's going to be a 20-hour week every week. The clinical coaching process is you will be assigned a clinical coach with your instructor, as I said, that works with you specifically on your portfolio. They will work with you inside of your class. They're assigned to your entire class. You'll also have a clinical site supervisor or CC1 who will make a virtual visit with you and your principal. So they're looking for an email from either Mr. Marie, Mr. Ramsey, Dr. Talent, Dr. Stedman, Dr. Revis, Dr. Nutting, or me. I think I have about 5. We will be sending you an email starting tomorrow. I may get mine out later tonight to arrange a virtual meeting. Now, on the screen tonight, I believe there's Thomas Lamb. Thomas is in Wake. I've already done a visit with his folks. We did it last week. Thomas he's sitting in the front row. He's wanting to be the teacher's pet. He's already had his visit. Thomas and I may be related, but we don't know that. But he's a good man anyway. We want to meet with your folks to make sure everything's good on your end. It's not that we want to assign them a bunch of tasks to do. What we really want to make sure is your principal understands that we're not going to work your principal to death. We have all these folks that you're paying for that we've hired that are going to do a lot of these things with you. It's not the old model that many of them are dreading, where they used to have to fill out paperwork on you and have a task stream log in and do all that. None of that anymore. We do all of that. We do all of that. Make sure that when we meet, they'll explain that all that your site supervisor has to do is sign your log at the end of each semester and give you the opportunities. You have the list of things to do. They don't have to do all that work like used to be done. I know last year that I was in the principalship, I had a principal fellow in Charlotte. Of course, now, full disclosure, I had over 3,000 students, 6 APs, 2 admins. And so that was 25 years ago, 23 years ago. But I had a principal fellow intern, and I think I spent more time at it than he did. We've gone from that, where I probably spent 10 hours a week on his internship, to now they don't have to spend any. So that's one of the things we want to make sure. We want them to enjoy the time that they spend mentoring you, not feel like it's a second job, unpaid job for them. That's part of the reason why we want to make sure that your site supervisor's on board. They'll share the clinical handbook with them, the list of suggested activities. Now, some of you, everybody was online for a while during COVID, but after COVID, we still have a good many interns who do many things virtually. We also, and thanks to Dr. Robin Hamilton and her group who put together, we have a list of activities for when you're in school, but for whatever reason, if you're at a virtual academy or if you're out of school for some reason, we also have a list of things that you can do virtually to get your hours. We have all that printed out for you. We have a system to make sure you get those, and all your site supervisor has to do, your principal, is to sign off on. So that's what the content of that meeting will be about with that person. So you have a clinical coach that works, you have an instructor, a clinical coach that works specifically with your portfolio. You have a clinical site supervisor, CC1, that comes out that does a virtual visit. They can come to your school on request. And then the other person you have is double blind. They don't know you and you don't know them. They don't teach or coach. They're state assessors. We pay folks, or you pay us, we pay them. Your state portfolio, your task stream portfolio, we don't work, hope is not a plan. We don't hope that you get through. When we talk about everybody getting through, we pre-assess your portfolio before we ever send it to the state. It is graded as you go. We do not hope. We do not have you build it and then send it in to N and hope that they'll license you. We have it pre-graded every time you turn an evidence into task stream. Now, you don't work in task stream. It's not a sandbox. Blackboard is where you work back and forth, peer reviewing, back and forth with your coach, revising, editing. You do that in Blackboard. When it's done and when they tell you, and only when they tell you, you upload it in task stream, and a state assessor assesses your work at that point. We do not wait till the end. We assess each evidence as you go. If you make a 3, out of the 4, which is passing, we move on. Now, I'll say this to start with. We coach and teach you to make a 4. We want 4s, but part of learning to be a school administrator is understanding. We could all do better if we had more time. Sometimes we just have to get it good enough and we have to move on. That's how that goes. If you get a 3, don't whine. I'll do you just, pledge to do better next time and keep moving. We don't get all the time in the world, because you do not want to be a school administrator that has to get a visit from somebody from the central office like I used to have to make the 12 years that I was in central office, where I had to go out and say to a principal, what were you doing that we weren't paying you for that kept you from doing what we were paying you for? You didn't get your work done this semester, this week, this month. You got to know when enough's enough and move on. We're going to teach and coach you to make 4s. If you don't, if you fall a little short, we're okay. If we taught and coach you to make 3s and you fell short, it wouldn't go well. If you don't pass your evidences, you don't proceed. And you've got to pass each one as we go. We do not wait till the end. So you will have a state assessor. You won't know them. They won't know you. It's strictly, they go by the state grading rubric, and that's how this works. So those are the roles of the people that will be working with you: an instructor, a clinical coach for your task stream portfolio, a clinical site supervisor to direct your internship, your hours at your school, and a state evaluator that will assess your task stream. Those are the roles of the people that we have. All right, let me go back to let me share my screen and go back. Somebody asked how long classes last. They last an hour. We try to stay to that. So here are the operational definitions of all these people who will be working with you. Check your email regularly. Be expecting one from your CC1, that's your clinical site supervisor, to set up a virtual visit. You will need to broker that visit with, now be sure to tell your principal during that hour visit that we're going to do that they're only going to need to be online with us 5 or 10 minutes. And then the rest of the time your coach will spend with you. So they don't have to do the whole hour, 5 to 10 minutes to make sure. All right. Now, as I referenced, let me share my screen and pull it up. I'm watching our time here. Here's our agenda. I sent that. When I send out the video from this evening, I'm going to send out your clinical internship handbook, and this is what it will look like. And as I said, inside of it has a suggested list of opportunities and activities. You notice that they're grouped as to leadership opportunities, supervision activities, and technical knowledge. They're sorted into those, and we expect you to perform them in the same ratio that they are on the screen. The most of the things we want you to do are leadership opportunities. Then technical knowledge, since assistant principal is a technical skill area. And then last would be, we don't want to see more than 5 or 10 clinical hours of supervision per semester. And here are the ideas. This is how you can get your hours if we're virtual. And we've got a log on here for you to log your hours. This is what your principal signs. And then here's an outline of the program. This is what it looks like. We'll give you that. And I'll conclude by telling again, on your activities, we want you to focus mostly on leadership opportunities and technical knowledge, for the simple fact that it shouldn't take you too long to figure out how to do supervision. If you've been in the business for any length of time, the only 2 things you need to learn about bus duty, and you ought to learn it pretty quickly, is wear a coat long enough to cover you behind in the wintertime and don't get run over. After that, you pretty much got it. And so we don't want to see 90 of your 100 hours each semester on bus duty, car duty, lunch duty. We want to see you doing actual leadership activities that would prepare you for the job. Now, let me look right quick. There she is. I see somebody down at the bottom here. Now, I've not planned this, and so I don't want to call her out, but I see
Dina Marie, I don't know how to pronounce her last name,
Spataro.
Spataro.
Yes.
Tell us where you are, Dina Marie.
I am in the Iredell Statesville School District, and I am currently the assistant principal at Cottle Creek Elementary School. Hi, Dr. Nutting.
And I saw that
Hey
Dina,
there, welcome.
Thank you.
I live just not too far from there. That's where I am in the Lake Norman district tonight. We will have, so the reason I wanted to point out, and thank you for being with us tonight, Dina
Thank you.
Marie.
Thank you.
Let me sneeze right quick, excuse me. We're going to have everybody in classes from people who have just a few years of experience all the way up to sitting assistant principals. That doesn't really matter. We want you all to do the same kinds of things. Look at that as a bonus. If you've got somebody in your group that's sitting in the job there, that's just another benefit, resource, reference for you. And so Dina Marie is one of these people that will be able to tell you that certainly, you want to get every leadership opportunity possible, so that because you don't want to be an assistant principal till you're as old as I am. The idea is you have to start out there, but we don't want you to end your career there. So the mindset that you've got to enter into this is I need to learn everything that I can learn during my clinical time. I need to learn everything that I can learn, not the easy stuff, not the low hanging fruit, but I need to take every opportunity. I need to go down and knock on the principal's door and say, I want to do this. Can I help you do that? You need to take charge of your clinical internship. We find that students who do that have a much better internship experience and are much more prepared for the job when they get out into the field. And so I'll wrap up that piece of it. At this time, I know this, it's been a lot tonight. It's kind of overwhelming, but as Dr. Stedman said, it's like eating an elephant. About at a time. We'll break it down and start with you tomorrow night in your class shell, or they will. I'll be along for the ride. Again, we thank you for choosing Gardner Webb. You wouldn't be here if you weren't the best. We're not only the largest program in North Carolina, and one of the largest in South Carolina now, we're also ranked #1. There's a reason why. It's not because of us, it's because of you. We only choose the best students. As a private school, we have that luxury. But now, if you're going to be one of us, you're going to have to catch another gear. I'm going to tell you right now. This is not for the faint-hearted. This is not for the looky-loos. This is for folks who are serious about becoming school administrators and becoming great. That's the notion here. Our data, our performance data of people in the field is what makes us #1. That and a couple of other things. We expect you to be great, not good. We expect you to be great. All right. Have we answered all the questions in the chat tonight?
We have someone who wants you to go back and show them how to get back on Blackboard to check their
Absolutely.
email.
Absolutely. So I'll start from the very beginning. So go to the Google and just type in Gardner Webb. It'll pop up, or gardnerwebb.edu. Now it's a middle dash, Gardner-Webb. It's a middle, not a lowercase dash. Let me go ahead and put that in fully. The middle dash webb.edu. And it'll take you straight to your web, to your main menu screen. These 3 little hashtags up to the top right here, if you'll click on those, it will take you here to the secondary menu, and you go into Web Connect. And that's where you'll find your main menu, your launch pad here. Now you can, in this favorites area, you can take anything you want and just simply click and drag it up here where you can get to it quicker. But this is the way that you access your email and Blackboard. And when I work with you in a few weeks on Qualtrics, this is also where you'll be able to get in there. So when you send a survey out in your first semester, we don't use SurveyMonkey. We use Qualtrics for surveys.
Dr. Lamb,
Yes.
while you're right there with that pulled up, I had someone ask about a change in, it's gone now, site supervisor. That there's a form there that
Yes,
can be
there
filled
is.
out.
Okay.
It's under maintain. Is it
maintain information or?
Right here under, if you have to change your site supervisor,
Uh-huh.
first thing, send your clinical coach, your clinical site supervisor, CC1, send them an email, but simply click on maintain information. And down next to the bottom, I had them put a link here, update site supervisor. I don't know if it'll do it for me or not. There you go.
Thanks.
And you can fill that one out right there.
And I can walk them through that when I do the CC1
Yes.
virtual visit if they, but
Yeah.
just wanted to point that out.
Yeah. Yeah. Candidates for MA, Executive Leadership Studies, School Administration add-on, that would be the 12 and 20-month programs. You fill out this form and simply submit it. It's got a submit button down at the bottom. But also let your clinical coach know so that they can, if they've already done a visit, a virtual visit with your previous site supervisor, they'd like to do one with your new one. And so I can X out of that and that. But again, this is your launch pad in Web Connect that will take you to Blackboard as well. And over here under my courses is where you will find your course. And again, you'll be in 601 C2, C4, C6, C8, or 03. You'll be in one of those courses. And once you open it up, and we'll open up, we'll pick a different one this time. We'll pick C6, and you'll see the same thing in C6. And if you were to go to this one, you'll see it. Now there was some confusion about who was in shells. We did have to do some load leveling and some switching around, but the shell that you have is who you'll have for your class, and they'll be online with you tomorrow night. If you have any problems, email me. I'm just DLAMB, D-L-A-M-B, and I'll make sure that you get whatever you need. In terms of links to make sure that you join in your class tomorrow night. If you've got classmates who are that aren't with us tonight, make sure they know that we start class tomorrow night, and we'll have a coaching session Thursday night. They're two different links, but we'll kick off this semester.
As a reminder, make sure that we do start at 7 o'clock. Dr. Revis and I, the link to join is a recurring link, and you will use that link for us. Dr. Hamilton and Dr. Crawford will have a separate link, but then all of you will have the same recurring link on Thursday night to join. When you join our classes, there's a lot of you. It's important that you keep yourself muted, but we'd love to see you. So if you would, let us see the video of you, but please keep yourself muted when you sign in tomorrow.
Okay. Textbooks, no, if you don't opt out. So here's the thing. If you don't opt out of the Bulldog bundle, your textbooks are automatically ordered for you. If you have to manually opt out, and let's see, I don't know. Let me try that link, see. And so if we go to here, there's a campus bookstore link. Let's see if it'll work tonight. You can do it. Bulldog bundle right here. Learn more about the Bulldog bundle. You're all enrolled in the Bulldog bundle, which automatically orders the proper books for you. And so how it works, receive your textbooks. What is it? How's it work? Which students have access? What is excluded? How, if I choose to not participate, how do I opt out? Right here. If you want to opt out, we encourage you to stay in, but if you've already got some of these books, or if you think you can get them cheaper or faster. But so again, I'll go back to that again. When you sign in, let me close some of these links. When you sign in, right here, instead of going to Web Connect, you can go to Campus Bookstore, and it explains all about your textbooks.
And Dr. Lamb, for those that don't have your textbooks yet, don't worry, it will not stop you from moving forward with doing your work. You will just catch up on your reading when you do get them, but you'll be okay.
Okay.
Dr. Lamb, someone asked in the chat if APA 7th edition was included with what comes with the Bulldog bundle. Do you know? I'm not sure.
I don't believe that it does. I don't believe that's on their book list. You can get
No,
that
it was
one.
not.
You can get that one from Amazon pretty quickly. Let's see.
It doesn't, Dr. Lamb. A student reached out to me and said
Yeah.
that they got their books and then they had to get their APA separately.
Let's see. You can get it from Amazon. The manual, I guess this one is $9.90. If you go to them, I guess that's it. If you've got an Amazon account, let's see how fast did we get here if you got an Amazon account.
Dr. Lamb, they can remember too that we have a lot of this online for them already too, that they can use until they get their book. So they'll be okay until they get their book with that as well.
Okay, they've got an ebook, hardcover, paperback. Let's see. They'll send it to you overnight. So that one's not hard to get. You can buy it now. If you've got a Prime account, they'll send it to you. It'll be here before the morning. So you will need to order your publication manual of the APA 7. I do recommend that you get one of these. Dr. Hamilton and Dr. Revis, they have some PowerPoints. They're going to work you through this stuff. But if you've got a manual, you'll be able to learn on your own. And I will say this, about, I don't want to exaggerate here, but I'd say about of the 110 that we have coming in this fall, about whenever you finish either in 3 or 5 semesters, about half of you will proceed into a doctoral program either with us or somebody else. If you've learned APA 7th with us, you'll be way ahead of the game when it comes time for your doctoral studies program. If you can already write an APA 7th, it'll be easy peasy. So now's the time to learn it, even if you don't think right now that you might go into a doctoral program later. Again, about half students do. And it's a big bonus. And that's why we added that a few years back. Not only do we want you out of this program on time, if you go to our doctoral program, we want you out of those on time too. It's too much money nowadays to stay in it forever. And so APA 7th is how you will be graded on the state's rubric scale. They'll make sure that you're writing an APA 7th. That's first person active voice. And you need to learn from the looks. Some folks that might have come through previous graduate programs might have written in third person passive voice, or you might not have. You might have used something else. But everybody's now using APA 7, first person active voice, and so you need to learn to write like that. So that's one of the first things we're going to work with you on is how to write in APA 7, and they'll work with you. And if you've got a manual, it will certainly be helpful. But we're looking for people who want to make a career out of this, that this is just another step in the journey. Full disclosure, I'm still Saul on the road to Damascus. I'm not Paul yet, but I'm still, even at my age, I'm still wanting to get better. I'm still trying to get there, trying to get to Damascus. And most of the folks that we have that come with us, they're committed to this. This is a career. They know that this is what they want to do. Half of our students go on into doctoral programs. They matriculate through the principalship and into the central office. And we want to give you every opportunity to be successful. We share in your success. Nothing makes us happier when you get jobs. Nothing makes us happier when you get promotions. We have those, we have you send us the link to those announcements. We publish those in the Gardner Webb internal newsletter. We do that. I get one every day or two. Let me share my screen. I've already gotten one in the last couple of days. Move that out of the way. Learn to use your search box on your email, by the way, because of the stacking. You kind of have to learn how to do that. And so here's one that just finished with us. And this is her on the left, Jackie Tinsley. She's just got appointed. She was AP at the early college in Kannapolis, and she just got promoted to executive director of data visualization and integration and accountability for Rowan Salisbury. And so we just had several principal. Now this one is a complete anomaly. This one was last week. Let's see. And so we have one, Kim Davis, one of our summer graduates who she got offered before the summer was over. She got offered an AP position, and she was so impressive in her interview, they had her come back the next week. She interviewed for the principal at the same school and was hired was assistant principal for 1 week and got hired as principal. Everybody, that won't happen to everybody, but I don't know what, I'd say over half of our folks get jobs straight out of the program or while they're in the program. We'll get you ready. But that's part of the reason why so many of our folks get jobs. They know you've been through hell to get there. They know you're ready. When we turn you loose, you'll be ready. You may not get to go straight, to the principal, but you'll get to go to AP. You'll move into facilitator roles, AP role, dean roles. As I said, Jackie was already an AP. She's now already fast tracked into an executive director position. You need to be prepared. You need to be prepared for those upper level roles. You need to be prepared for doctoral. This is not the end, folks. This is the beginning of your journey. And we're going to prepare you, and we're going to support you every step of the way. That's our notion here. And Dr. Stedman and I, we have a vested interest in your success. So as you know how Social Security works, I didn't pay in for me. I paid in for the people older than me. And so we want you to get really good jobs. So y'all will pay in so we can collect our Social Security. That's why we have a vested interest in your success. We want you to do well. We share in, we rejoice in that success. To close out tonight, Gardner Webb is a Christian university. I tell people, just like my doctoral classes over the weekend, I don't care what faith you are. My prayer that I'm gonna close with tonight is actually a Catholic prayer. That's one of my favorite students of all time was Muslim. I don't care what your faith is. I just care that you have faith. That's what we're built on, is faith, and that means that you're a servant. You're a servant to the people around you. We want to train you to be that, but we want to be that for you as well. And so I'm going to close our meeting out tonight with our prayer. Our prayer tonight is called "Let Me Serve You." For those of you who don't know, if you've seen our logo at Gardner Webb, it has a Latin script underneath it, and it says "Pro Deo et Humanitatem." What that means is service. For those of you who weren't old enough to take Latin in high school, it means service for God and humanity. So our prayer for closing, and we'll go to any questions that you have, but I'll close out the formal part of our program tonight. Name of our prayer is "Let Me Serve You." This is from Saint Teresa of Avila, better known as Sister Teresa. So if you'll pray with me tonight. Lord, govern everything by your wisdom, O Lord, that my soul may always be serving you in the way that you will and not as I choose. Let me die to myself so that I may serve you. Let me live to you who you are as life itself. Amen. All right. It's going to be a whirlwind. I'm excited. I hope you are. All right. We'll go back for questions that we have in the chat. If anybody has anything, just unmute themselves. Again, MSA faculty, thank you for being here tonight, supporting our students. I appreciate all that you do in the name of the university, but mostly I appreciate what you do for me and for the students. I know how hard you work for what little pay that you get, and I'm appreciative of that. All
Dr.
right,
Lamb, this is Dr. Talon. If you could stay on for a minute, I had a quick question.
I will.
Okay.
All right, I think, look at this. We got through 5 minutes early and they said we couldn't do it. We try to stay on time. Bell ring, go to class. Bell ring, go to next class, just like school. We'll see you all tomorrow night at 7.
Hey,
Everybody have a good evening and thank you.
goodbye, everybody.
Dr. Lamb,
Yes, ma'am.
I wouldn't be asking, but I do have a virtual visit, a CC1 visit tomorrow with Caroline Atkins. I noticed with her name that she has her doctorate.
Yes.
How is that different internship? I thought tell me what.
She may have one in something else. As far as I know, let me double check. She's
It
not.
says EDD after her name. Now I haven't
Yeah,
talked
but-
to her. My
But
meeting
it's probably in curriculum.
Okay.
Let me double check and make sure she's not
Yeah,
the wrong place.
Yeah, I have a student that has hers in curriculum and instruction as well.
Yeah.
But I'm just
usually
wondering, as the CC1, what do I?
It should be the same,
It is the
unless
same.
they're if they're the EDCI doctorals from Gardner Webb. I have them. I have all them in one section, and they don't have CC1s. That's the C14 section. I have all them.
Okay, well, this is Caroline Atkins, ATKINS, and like I said, I wouldn't be asking now, but I'm meeting with her tomorrow at 1. And I just want to
Let me double check the crystal report. If it'll open, you can do it. There it comes. Is this her?
Yeah, let's see. Yes,
Caroline?
yes.
Yep, she's just regular. I'm guessing her doctorate's in curriculum or something else, but no, she would have the same internship. She's not the C14 section because I met them over the weekend.
So would she be in the full 5 semesters?
According to this, she is in the 3 semester.
Okay.
She's a 8, so that means she's in the 3 semester. She's from Lancaster.
Okay. All righty.
So hers will be the same as everybody else's. She's not misplaced. She
500 hours. Okay.
Yep, she's 500 hours.
Okay.
If she was a 12, see like this one right here. See that 12, that would mean she should be with me
Okay.
in the other group. No, I do have a group of EDCI doctorals. They don't have any internship hours. That's correct.
Okay.
But she's not one of them.
Okay.
And so, if they put her in the wrong place, let me know.
Well, I'll be, I will meet with them tomorrow,
Yeah.
but I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, and she should be in the 3 semester add-on now. If she did her EDCI doctorate at Gardner Webb, if she's only EDCI, only at Gardner Webb, if she did it there, then she's in the wrong place. She should be with me in C14.
Okay.
Quick question. Dr. Hamilton went away and I was trying to, okay. Anybody can answer this one. Hi, I'm Alicia Caldwell, new student.
Hey.
My school district, I'm in South Carolina, and so we're kind of on the year-round schedule. So tomorrow is already midterms for us, and we have open house that ends at 7. So I'm gonna try to get on the Zoom on my phone and listen in while I'm driving back home. Is that okay?
That's fine. No,
Okay.
that's fine.
And
Okay.
Alicia, I see you're on my CC1 list, so we'll get together and I think I
Yes,
sent you an email.
to it.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
I sent it to my principal, so we were just trying to get past open house tomorrow. And
that's
then,
fine. That's fine.
right.
Okay.
Thank you. Y'all have a great evening.
Oh, man. All right. Other questions?
Dr. Lamb, is there, do you think, as you know, Phyllis said she has a CC1 meeting tomorrow. Could I sit in on that and?
Absolutely. That's what, absolutely you should. Phyllis, if
Okay.
you'll send,
I emailed Robin too, to see if I could, maybe
Yeah.
sit in on, one of hers to just, to get the hang of it.
yeah, yep.
Okay.
That would be really good.
Okay.
The script is really helpful and I always add one piece to find out if the principal has had an intern from Gardner Webb previously. And that gives you a
Okay.
little bit of background too, whether they're
Okay.
familiar with the program. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'll
Okay.
send you a link for I've got one tomorrow at 1 and at 4.
That would be perfect.
Okay.
I can do either one of
Yeah.
those. That'd be great.
Yeah. The main thing with the first 5 to 10 minutes, like Phyllis said, is if they've had one of ours before, then they know the deal.
Okay.
But they're always afraid that we're going to work them to death,
Okay.
which, at one time we did.
Yeah.
We made them get a task stream login and they had to learn task stream. They had to go in and do evaluations on their students every month. Well, it ended up being every week because they had to do dispositional evaluations. They had to evaluate their competencies. They had to do an overall, and they had to check off on their actual evidence work. And so they spent more time in there than the people that were getting paid.
Yeah.
But that was the plan back then. But as we transitioned, over the years, we've gotten away from that. And so, but some of those who have interns from the state system still do it the old way. They are very wary of supervising interns, and they want to know, what have I got to do? How am I going to plan all this out? And the wonderful thing is we're able to tell them, you just got to sign their law. And that then they, the cloud kind of lifts, and then they're a lot more excited about having an intern once they realize it's not going to be 10 hours a week for them.
Okay. Okay.
Because remembering they're, the students paying, but they're not paying them. And that encourages them to actively participate and work with them when they don't have to do a lot of paperwork and other things that cause them problems. And so, yeah, Phyllis, if you can hook up with her,
Awesome.
that'd be great.
Thank you, Phyllis.
So that would be good. All right. Any other questions? We still got a couple more on. All right. I think that's it. All right. I will see y'all all tomorrow night.
Good night.
Good
Thank
night.
you.
Thank you.